WF representing Palace, so let's tell you about Palace.
Eagle-eyed football here. Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 1. Joined here with misinformation man Dan. What's on the game?
Yeah, I mean, if you offer me a point before the game, I'm taking that. I think apart from probably like the first 35 minutes, I thought we played quite well after that, actually. And especially all things considered with the strength of our bench and things like that. I think we were well worth the point. And the stats also back that up as well. I couldn't believe Chelsea only had one shot on target all game. I think that's crazy.
And that must have been the goal that Palmer scored.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And I thought it was a bit of a weird game because I think Chelsea more so, but both teams, I think, got into good situations, but then just didn't really create any chances from that. I thought generally it was quite a poor quality game from both sides, really. A lot of sloppiness. And actually, to be honest, I think the way Chelsea kind of progressed through the game, I thought was pretty much exactly like we've seen from when we were researching Tactical. On how their games, like they do very well in the first half, create a lot of opportunities, don't necessarily score them. Second half, sort of fade away, make a lot of mistakes, and then let teams back into the game.
Definitely, and I thought that even though that they had so much going forward just in personnel, I thought that how we defended against that with our back five and our two sitting midfielders, I thought that we sort of nullified that quite well.
Yeah, I mean, I think absolutely. I don't think, like, apart from Jackson's opportunity when he got just beyond the post, I think I think that was probably the only real clear-cut chance I think Chelsea had off the top of my head. I could be forgetting one, to be fair. But yeah. So what was the question again?
You sort of answered the question already, okay, so you just sort of had a brain fart there. Yeah. Richard stepped in for Trevor Chalobah today. We definitely we definitely missed Chalobah today. But what do you think of Richard's performance? He had made a good few tackles, also got caught on the ball a few times. What do you think of his overall game?
I think it was the kind of performance that you expect from Chris Richards on the right-hand side. I think it was just a classic case of defensively, I thought he was good. To be honest, even when he got skinned by Jadon Sancho, I think him and Munoz were actually still in good defensive positions. It was still a 2v1 versus Sancho, and I think it was the Qual's fault, in my opinion, for that goal.
He didn't track him well enough, or?
Yeah, I think because where they were sort of like here on the pitch, weren't they? And Sancho managed to get a ball in, but as he was taking that, Lequois, rather than picking up Cole Palmer, decided to run to the near post. That's probably a bit of coaching instruction to do that, but in that split second he's lost Palmer, and obviously Palmer, when he's got the ball there, he's going to score a goal. But yeah, I think Richards, defensively I think he was good, but then in attack I feel like you could definitely see the deficiencies there. Like there was a very, very distinct lack of progression. And I think we didn't create. I think Munoz was good on that side, but we didn't really create a lot there.
Obviously, we've been talking about this a little bit in Tactical about how Eze's in a deeper role. But if he's in a slightly deeper role, does that mean he needs to be doing more defensively? Because I don't see what he offers us defensively. Because there was one time where he was following Palmer all the way into the box. Palmer runs into the box and he just stops. And then literally if Gusto gets the ball over, Palmer scores. That's because Eze let him go. Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's kind of what I was saying about like situations as well. Like, got good situations but not necessarily chances. But I don't know. I think he still is playing that role, but I will caveat that I've always thought he's played it badly, to be honest. What about his offensive game? Because he just seems to pass back all the time.
I mean, apart from the fact, I know he did get an assist, but he was awful. He wasn't very good today. Like the amount of times he slowed down. All we needed was to break out and really hit Chelsea on that transition, really make them pay for their lack of ability to defend transitions, and he just didn't do that. Every single time he get the ball, stop, and then try and sort of like beat the man on the inside, and it's just okay, that's fine if then Mitchell's then bombing on forwards, but obviously Mitchell didn't do that, so
he didn't have the best of games either. No. Question: beat Stockport, lose to Leicester, or lose to Stockport and beat Leicester? But you can only pick one.
I mean, I'm going to caveat it by saying if we lose to either of those teams, if we don't beat both of those teams, that's really disappointing, to be honest. I mean, I would be somewhat okay if we beat Stockport but draw against Leicester. I know we needed points, but are we getting relegated? No, we're not. And you know, we could. I appreciate we could chase after the European spots potentially because of the way the league is this season. I don't know. Can I also caveat with another thing? For me, it actually also depends on who we bring in January. Yeah. If we bring in good players in January, then I'm going to say Leicester because then I think we could actually make a decent push in the league. But if we don't, I'd rather put my eggs in the cup basket.
Man of match.
I'm going to go Munoz. I thought he was really good on that right side. I know the goal possibly could have been partially attributed to him, but not really. But I thought overall his attacking play was brilliant today, in spite of the fact I actually thought he was quite isolated as well.
Down at the Palace.
Up the Palace.